Hi, this is Gene DiNapoli. Just want to let you know that your comments tonight might be shown on screen.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gene DiNapoli.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 33 of the Reminiscing with Gene DiNapoli podcast. Once again, 33 times in a row. I'm still Gene DiNapoli. Hi, everybody. Welcome. It is April the 19th. We have a wonderful show for you tonight. But as always, we're going to start off with thanking and showing you our corporate sponsors. Anthony, run the sponsors.
Hi, this is Francisco. Many people call me the Creative CPA. If you need help with your taxes or financial matters, please email me your cell number and the best time and day to call you. You could email me at franciscisco@aol.com, and Cisco is spelled S-I-S-C-O, the Creative CPA. It's that simple, that easy. Thank you.
Little Italy Auto Repair at 628 Crescent Avenue in the true Little Italy of the Bronx. Over 50 years of automotive service excellence, ASE and state certified, offering all types of services to all types of cars. Discounts to first responders, military, Fordham University students and faculty. All work is done by Victorio with the highest level of quality possible. Telephone number is 718-933-2365 or visit his website at www.littleitalyAutoBronx.webs.com.
Hi, my name is Howard, and along with my partner Karen, we are Cruise Planners Dream Destinations Travel. Contrary to the name, we are a full-service travel agency specializing in individual, multi-generational, and group vacations. Certified with all major cruise lines, we are also represent all resorts and all-inclusives throughout the beautiful Caribbean and Mexico. Let us build your dream vacation. Please call us at 347-398-8653 for a free, no-obligation quote.
Thank you to our sponsors. They ease the burden of all the expenses we go through to present these shows. We'll tell you more about that later. But tonight we want to dedicate our show to a gentleman. The 50s, the greatest guitar opening, Johnny B. Good, right? Chuck Berry. In the 60s, one of the greatest guitar openings was by a group called the Kingsmen and their song Louie Louie. And we lost the lead guitarist on Friday. He passed away on his birthday. So we want to say to Mike Mitchell, at the young age of 77, thank you for being a great guitar player. And we dedicate tonight's show to you. Wow. A lot to talk about tonight. But first, last week, I showed you this beautiful picture I got of Jimmy Clanton and Elvis Presley. Jimmy sent this to me. And I forgot to tell you where you can get your own. You go to jimmyclanton.com, and Jimmy will autograph a picture, the one you pick, personally to you. So thank you, Jimmy Clanton and Sandy. Okay, so big announcement. Okay, I could do it now, or I could tease you and keep it till later. But I got a couple of announcements. This past Friday, I had the pleasure of being cast in a commercial, which is going to be shown on all different types of social media. It is an app called Simply Piano, and I got to do 3 commercials with this talented young man named Gabriel. This kid was so talented, it made me sick. That's how good this kid was. So that's going to be out on all different platforms. I play his dad, which I was very proud to get the gig. Sorry, my son just told me. Okay. Oh, gotcha. From Mike. Yeah. Second announcement. This one is this wasn't our original announcement because this didn't happen till Thursday, but there's going to be a virtual concert on May 1st to stop Asian hate crimes. It's called Artists for Justice. It's going to be a worldwide virtual fundraising gala. And I am so proud that out of 1,000 Elvis Presley acts in the country, they picked me to perform If I Can Dream, which is a very monumental song in the catalog of Elvis Presley. It was written based on the speech, I Have a Dream, by the great Martin Luther King Jr., and we are going to be performing it May 1st, 7 o'clock. Please tune in. Anthony, put up that flyer once again, please. So there you can see it on Facebook and YouTube. It's called honestystv.network/A4J. And this is just the first of many, many social anti-hate events that they will be producing. And I told them I will be there for them as many times as they need me. For some reason, I cannot answer the comments. My computer updated. I have to sign in. Next week, we will not be here. We're taking a week off because we are going on a much needed vacation. So next week, enjoy television, but make sure you come back right after that, because on May 3rd, our first show back, we are going to have a conversation with a gentleman who took over the lead singing voice of the Platters in 1959 and had 2 major hits with the Platters after Tony Williams left. We're going to have the great Sonny Turner here on May 3rd. Anthony, please put up that flyer. There you go. Sonny Turner, who not only sang the great songs of the Platters with Tony Williams on lead, he had a hit with This Ring and I Love You 1,000 Times. And thank you. That's May 3rd. And you know what? We're going to hold off till later to tell you the big announcement. Okay? That's what we're going to do. So we're going to tease you. But one thing we're going to do right now, ladies and gentlemen, is bring into the room a gentleman who co-founded one of the early superstar groups of the rock and roll era. And when I say early, we've had people on the show from 1959 and 60, 61, all well and good. But rock and roll was already 5, 6, and 7 years old at that point. And this gentleman with his group became a super group. Everything they touched turned to gold. So we're going to take you back to 1954 and move forward with all his current projects. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the co-founder, singer, songwriter, and rock and roll inductee from Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers. Please say hello to Mr. Jimmy Merchant, ladies and gentlemen. Let's bring in Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy. How are you?
I am totally blessed. This is the 34th show for you, right?
33.
30. I'm number 33. I'm totally blessed to be number 33.
Well, we are blessed that you agreed to do this for me and for our fans. And I got to tell you, Jimmy, you've been on my mind since the start because my mother's two favorite groups were the Platters and the Teenagers. And I got to tell you something. We lived in a very small apartment. It was so small that my mother would have three of her girlfriends over for Saturday night, and they had to take the coffee table and stand it up in the kitchen so they could dance. And I've never seen my mother Lindy like she Lindied to the Teenagers songs. They were so bouncy that the whole house shook because of your songs. And I had to get you on the show. If you didn't agree to it, I was going to pay you in White Castle. I was going to send pizza to your house. I was going to do something to get you on this show. But you agreed to it right off the bat, so I still owe you pizza.
Okay.
But Jimmy, we got a lot to talk about. We got a CD here that you so graciously sent me that I have been listening to for 4 days.
Wow.
So we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about other things, but take us back to 1954 when you co-founded this supergroup. Whose idea? Are you from Harlem originally?
Actually, from the Bronx.
So you're a Bronx boy. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Yes, the Bronx represents. So how did you do this? Because Frankie was from Harlem, right?
When I met Frank, he's in Washington Heights, uptown.
Okay.
Harlem ends at Upper Harlem ends at 155th Street, and Frankie lived up on 165th, which is called Washington Heights.
Right.
Sherman lived in that same block, and Herman lived in that same block, 165th, and the school that we all attended was in that same block. So I was raised in the Bronx,
right,
from age 1 to age 14, 1954.
Right.
So the first 14 years of my life is the Bronx. That's where I was groomed and filled with this whole dream and this whole idea to sing. In fact, in the eighth grade, my last year in the Bronx, I had formed a vocal group, and the guy that showed me and my buddy how to sing harmony, a brother by the name of Arthur Sterling, I had no idea. And I just want to shoot this in because my dad, who was the major influence during that 14 years, because he was a jazz lover.
Okay.
And I would just watch him play the Phil Cole records, Dizzy Gillespie and Count Basie and the guys with the horns. And I would listen to the Dizzy Gillespie arrangements. Because if you listen to Dizzy Gillespie, he used odd instrumentation and 4-part harmony, oboe with a fluted trumpet and a tenor and a clarinet. I said, wow. So my ear was already prepared for what my dad was listening to, and that is music. And so when my mom relocated to Washington Heights in 1954, when I was 14, I was a little upset because she was departing from dad, such is life. I said, wait a minute, Ma. I said, Ma, look, Ma, wait, hold, Ma. I said, it's the summertime. I'm going into the 9th grade, and I got a little group going. You know how I love music. She said, listen, I'm leaving your father. This is the last week. It's September, and it's Labor Day, and you're going to new school in Monday, this coming Monday, and we're relocating to 156th Street, one block above Upper Harlem, which is the lowest block in Washington Heights, where her mother lived, my grandmother.
Okay.
So I had to buy that deal, you know, because I mean, my grandmother, my great grandmother, my mother, and my two sisters are 5 women and 1 guy.
Yeah, you know, you were outnumbered. You were outnumbered.
I was outnumbered. But the
now,
first
Jimmy,
day,
that was the group, the Coupe de Villes, right?
No, that wasn't the Coupe de Villes. That was a Bronx group without a name yet.
Okay.
So now the first day of my new school, I'm introduced to the class, and the teacher, she said, listen, she says, class, this boy is new in the school. I'm going to sit him over to my far right, next to the window, and say hi to him. His name is James Merchant. Wow. And the class was loaded, about maybe 22 girls and about 8 or 9 boys. And I sat down, and she's preparing to start the class. Here's the moment. Here's the important moment. The door opens as the bell rings, and the teacher's preparing. And this tall dude with freckles, t-shirt, sneakers with no socks, woolly hair, the first time I ever seen an afro, 1954. He looks half white, but he's black. He's got woolly hair. He's light skinned with freckles, and he looks like Tom Sawyer. And he walks in the class. Hey, teacher. My ears went. Hey, teacher. She said, Sherman Garnes, you're late as always. Everybody knows you. You've been late for 7th and 8th grade, but you're in the 9th grade now. And my name is not teacher. My name is Mrs. Smoller. And I'm going to sit you down next to a new boy in the class. You're going to sit in the last row next to the window. He's in the row next to the window row, and you're going to sit in the last row directly across the street from where you live. And you can see your bedroom, your living room, and your kitchen from that window. And you're late all the time. And so, and he says, okay, Mrs. Smoller. And she said, by the way, class, say hello to Sherman. Y'all already know him. Hi, the girls. Hi, Sherman. Right. So he was known, and that was the beginning of what was to come within a few months. That's September. Earth Angel was out. Him and I started a group called the Earth Angels, because Earth Angel had come out, and 2 boys in our class could sing harmony, and another guy in another class could sing lead. And in that class, Herman Santiago was in that class, but Herman was not in the group at that time. Okay. So we formed a group called the Earth Angels. And then come around March of the next year, the Earth Angels wasn't happening. Sherman told me he didn't want to hang out with the Earth Angels, that this Spanish guy by the name of Joe Negroni wanted him to sing in a group that him and Herman Santiago was performing, called the Ermines. I said, wait, hold on. I don't have nothing against Spanish guys, man. But do they know anything about blow harmony, man? Do they know anything about Earth Angel? You know, and some of the songs that was out, It's Too Soon to Know, by Sonny Till and the Orioles, 1948. Count Every Star by the Ravens, 1950. The Vocaliers, the Ravens, the Larks, The Glory of Love. Remember them? Sure. 1951. Rudy West and the Five Keys. Yep. The Crickets, You're Mine. Oh, yes, you're mine. I said, Sherman. Oh, hold up. What does these Latin cats know about this? Man, listen, man. I said, don't man me, man. You know, I said, I don't have nothing against Puerto Ricans. I'm from the Bronx. I'm raised around them. You know? I said, but man, the blow harmony is blowing up.
Right.
There's something coming out. There's something out. Big rock and roll is. See, Doo Wop was exploding at that moment in time.
Right.
You see, and the guy Joe Negroni was attracted to Sherman's bass voice like I was, but Joe Negroni and Herman Santiago that went to the same school that I was in, that Stitt junior high school, Stitt,
Right.
PS 164 on Edgecombe and 165th.
Mm.
Sherman's on the corner, the opposite corner of 165th and Edgecombe. Herman is down the block, mid-block of 165th. I don't know this yet. Frankie's directly across the street. Joe and I live below 10, 15, 12 blocks away. Now, so I said, look, about this Spanish guy, man, you're out the group, you're out the Earth Angels, so nothing's going to happen. And we're supposed to sing in graduation.
Mm.
We can do that graduation in June, but man, I want to sing with the Ermins. But you know what? They need a guy like you. We became best friends because I started showing him harmony. He had a bass voice. Even though he was a basketball fanatic and tried out for the Globetrotters, I was a harmony fanatic. See, I was a harmony man. I was into music, but I was attracted to this guy's bass voice, and he did have an ear. So I could show him stuff, I would show him two-part harmony with just the bass and my first tenor. See? Because I knew how to falsetto. Even though I had a natural voice, I knew how to sing falsetto. So, but then he got me to go to an audition where Herman and Joe were auditioning three guys. And when I go into the audition at Herman's house, directly across the street from Stitt, junior high, I'm watching them trying to show these three guys how to sing, and they can't sing. So, so that's something about gifts that I came to learn that one person comes in with a gift to show the rest how to do what needs to be done. And so that's what happened. I started showing these three guys how to audition, and Herman Santiago and Joe Negroni didn't know how to audition them.
Okay.
So it was my audition. It was my audition because at that point we became a four-man group. Sherman Gons bass, myself first tenor, Joe Negroni baritone, and Herman Santiago lead. So the four of us became the Ermins. I said, Sherman, where did we get this freaking name from?
Right.
The Ermins. But Joe, when I started talking to him, he was into the music.
Right.
He knew all the DJs. He knew all about Dr. Jive, who just came on the scene. He knew all about Alan Freed, who came out from where he came from with the Moonglows and came to New York, was a DJ now in New York City and about to do shows at the New York Paramount. He knew about actors. He wanted to be an actor. He dressed like James Dean. He even had his own actor's name. In fact, Joe, after the group broke up, became a movie producer.
Wow.
With porno movies. He made porno movies.
Okay. Well.
After the group broke up, years later. So Joe Negroni at 16, I'm 16. Joe's a few months older than me. Herman is 17. Sherman is 16. And so Sherman's 16, I'm 16. Herman is 17. And Joe is 6 months older than me at 16. So the four of us became a group at that point in time, somewhere around March 1955.
55.
Yes. And we started singing in the neighborhood. I started showing them songs that was out. I want to rock, I want to roll, I want to thrill deep down in your soul. Hey, pretty baby, can't you see that? So we would get all the girls. And, hey, pretty baby, can't you see? And Sherman, that's what you do to me, you know. So, so you know, we knew how to rock the neighborhood,
Right.
because we found out that neighborhood singing was getting a lot of traction. We were singing in halls. We sang directly across the street from the school, which was a park. And Herman, even though Herman was shy and he had like a broken Spanish accent, it wasn't bad. But he used to carry a Spanish dictionary in his back pocket, and we used to laugh at that. But these are the things that kids laughing at each other, and they're making fun, but they're forming, something's happening. They come together as something called a vocal group during a period of time when the vocal group explosion was happening. And we were two Puerto Ricans and two black guys sitting on the park across the street from our school on Edgecombe Avenue, directly across from the school and across the street from Sherman's apartment building. And kids was running to us. Rather than going directly across the street from the school at lunchtime, they started coming directly just across the street and watching us sing and looking at these four teenage cool looking boys sing all the stuff that was on the radio.
Right.
And singing Clyde McFadden stuff, singing, you know, the harp tone stuff. And then come June, we did the graduation. We did it with the old singer from the guy from the Earth Angels.
Okay.
So it was me and Herman, Joe, and Sherman, and the gentleman that sang lead with the Earth Angels at graduation, June.
What was his name, Jimmy?
Howard Jenkins.
Howard Jenkins.
Yeah, he was in the same grade as us. And in fact, he took us down to the projects in the Colonial Projects, which is down below Washington Heights, where the Solitaires lived. And I met two of the Solitaires, and I found out that one of the Solitaires, Buzzy became I think Buzzy was in the group, but he became also a manager. Buzzy happened to be seeing a girl in the building that I lived in, where my mother had relocated with her mother. So things were happening at that point in time. Gene Red, you remember him? I'm trying to think of his group. He lived right around the corner from me in the Bronx. The Chords was in my neighborhood in the Bronx.
Jimmy Keys.
Yeah, Jimmy Keys. I know his lady. She's still around.
Yeah.
And there was another group, a bass singer with a female lead, with a female. That Robert and Johnny, they from my neighborhood.
Yeah. Wasn't Lillian Leach from Lillian Leach and the Mellows?
I think yeah.
Yeah,
right.
she was there too.
Right.
Yeah.
So now, go ahead.
How long was it after you did the graduation that you ran into Frankie?
Probably that June, the next month, because we started. We took a class, even though the four of us had went to high school. We graduated and went to high school that September 1955. The four of us are going to the 10th grade in 1955. Frankie is still in that school still, but they live in that neighborhood. So we decided to rent a room during the summer to rehearse. And Frankie, they knew Frankie. Herman knew Frankie. Sherman knew Frankie. They lived in the same block. And we saw him. He used to chase us around the block, listening to us sing. We paid him no mind because because he was a baby star already before we knew what the word was. We saw him. He was a big show-off kid. He was short. He could imitating Jackie Wilson, imitating forget this guy's name. Oh, it'll come to me. So he was imitating, and so when July comes, we're now rehearsing. We took it at the Night Center because the Stick Junior High said they was going to do a show, a talent show. So we were dealing with a group called the Capitals. I had written a song called "Why Do Fools Fall in Love." I didn't write the song. In Sherman's building. This is when the group first got together, the Ermins, in March. So I'm going back to March before June, before we graduated. We're rehearsing in Sherman's hallway, and on the first floor of Sherman's hallway, the gentleman comes out. He says, I've been watching you guys, and I know Sherman since he was a little boy. I live in the building. I got some letters that you guys should have because you guys are singing like stars already, but you're singing other people's music that's on the radio. You're singing everything off of the radio over and over and over. I want you to take these letters and come up with your own original music because you guys need to make records. And when you make records, you don't make records by making other people's songs. You make records with your own songs.
Right.
So he gives us these letters. I took the letters home. There were about 8 or 9 of them. And one of them was called "Why Do Birds Sing So Gay?" Why do lovers wake the break of day? Why do fools fall in love? So I decided to change that to "Why Do Fools Fall in Love" and come up with a slow song. And I came up with the constant chord progression that was used at that time called 1-6-2-5 chord progression. All musicians know that chord progression. All musicians know that all of rock and roll started out with that 1-6-2-5 chord progression, including "Please Be Mine," which I had already written, a slow song. So I love slow songs.
Right.
So I turned this letter, "Why Do Birds Sing So Gay?" into one of the lines in the song, "Why Do Fools Fall in Love?" a slow song. So we were singing that, and now go back to June. They're going to do a talent show in August. So we're rehearsing in that school during the month of July, and Frankie is now in that same scenario preparing for that talent show. We knew him because he worked in the corner store.
Right.
And I was introduced to him, and I saw his skills and his talents and his abilities. And he was trying to he was following us in the block, singing behind the group.
Right.
Till his mother, "Frankie, get in this, come on," because he would follow us around. Frankie, his mother would call him because remember, he lived right across the street from Herman, and his building is right next to Stick Junior High. So now we see that he was going to now get into this talent show along with us. So while we're preparing for the talent show, he came into our room.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "I want to sing on the stage with you all." I said, "Well, hold it, man. We got our own song. We're doing our thing.
Right.
We're going to do our thing. We got some original songs, but we're going to sing That's What You're Doing to Me." "Well, I know that song. I know that song." "I know you know. You've been following us around, and it's a big hit." "Yeah, but I said, look. I said, look. You got your two. You got your brother and another guy. Mm-hmm. You're going in as a trio. You're playing bongos. Your brother playing congo, and another gentleman. Your guys are good. You already went on the Ralph Cooper show, a TV show, a talent show on TV. So
Right.
Frankie had already gotten some experience,
Gotcha.
but now he was attracted to the Ermines in July.
Right.
And then the August show, he sang in August. Then we sang, then we brought him on stage and he sang with us. And that's where we became a group with Frankie in August of 1955. Richard Barrett moves into the neighborhood. He's a lead singer of the he's a lead singer of the Lily Mae Bell. Lily Mae Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Valentines. Yeah. Richard Barrett moves into the neighborhood. And you see how things happen?
Yeah.
My mother relocates to the Bronx on the
Thank
first
God.
day.
Thank God.
Yeah, there you go. Thank God, right? She
Thank
left
God.
Dad, right? Thank God. I mean, thank Dad did his job.
Right.
Because he got me, he present the music influence.
Yeah.
Music influence nursed my hearing ability. I already had ears.
Right.
You see? But then she leaves him, and the first day I meet one of the guys, and the school I go into, the other 4 members that's going to be part of a group called Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers are in that school. So I relocated to the school where the other 4 guys are. I was the missing link.
It was
And not only was I the
destiny.
missing, pardon?
Destiny. It was destiny.
Yes. Destiny,
And
right.
it was destiny that you took those letters and you reworked them and you came up with one of the greatest songs, not in Doo Wop, but in all of music history. And unless people lived under a rock for the past 65 years, they don't know this song. We're going to tell them, we're going to let them listen to the great Why Do Fools Fall in Love. Take it away, Anthony.
Why do fools fall in love? Why do birds fall in love? And lovers who wait to break the day. Why do they fall in love? Oh, why does the rain?
Wow.
Great.
Wow. That wasn't long after that stint when we met him.
Right.
Not when we met him, because we knew him from the neighborhood, but when he joined up with us in Stitt in August of 1955, Richard Barrett, the Valentines, he wants to take us downtown when he saw us. And so George Goldner, and we got to be clear on this one. Even though Frankie could sing circles around my buddy Herman Santiago, we didn't want him to sing lead, even though Herman sang on that show in Stitt in August, and he sang with his trio, and then we sang together, the 5 of us, and we let him sing lead a song that I wrote called I Want You to Be My Girl. Right. I had written that. Now, Barrett discovers us. He's going to take us downtown in September of that year. June, July, August, the next month, he takes us downtown to audition for George Goldner on 42nd Street, Rama G Records, between Broadway and 8th Avenue, a building. And we are auditioning in front of George Goldner and his partner, Joe Kosky, and Richard Barrett is there. The 5 of us. Barrett talked us into keeping Frankie. So now he said, even though George Goldner like Spanish groups, because George Goldman had a Spanish label called Tico and Rama Records. Tito Puente, Machito, all these Spanish bands. He had started recording black groups with Rama Records. Maybe Gone. There was a song came out called Gone, and then Rama, and then G. So he had these three records of Rama and G, at least. That I remember. Because going back, 65 years, 66 years. Yeah. So Goldman auditions us. He says, you guys are great. Frankie, is that your name? Frankie's in the background. Frank, this is a big scene here. Frankie is in the background, Gene, and he's singing that harmony, twirling his high pitched voice in the background as Herman sang and Joe Negroni sang. We sang about 4 songs. George Goldman, hey, kid, you in the background. What can you do? Frankie says, look out, fellas. he pushed big. Remember, Sherman is up there. Sherman is 6'4". Frankie is like, 5. Right. And Herman is short, and me and Joe. And Frankie said, what do you want me to do? I can do what I can do it all. He said, let's hear you do something. So he sang, I Want You to Be My Girl. That's what we auditioned with, the song that I had written called I Want You to Be My Girl. And he said, okay, boys, I'm going to Barrett, hey, Richard, I'm going to record these guys. Bring them down here a few times. I want to record them. I want to get this done before the year is out. That was the moment when Frankie became the lead singer in the group for the record when he rehearsed I Want You to Be My Girl, that one song. Because that's the one song that he sang in the group. Herman did all the leads along with Joe.
Right.
Got that?
Yeah. That's really weird. But Goldman saw something, and wasn't it Goldman that also suggested a name change for you guys?
Yeah. So now we're in the studio. I think it's the first Saturday of December, and because George wants to get this thing done, and we're in the first weekend in December, Saturday, and after 26 takes, somewhere before the last take, which was 26, wow, he's talking to Jimmy Wright, the famous horn player, the cat that used to do all the sax solos and all his. So this guy was a jokester, but he was a jazz, but he could play rock and roll sax solos. But he saw George Goldman's desire to figure out what to call us, because we had changed our name from the Premiers, from the Ermins to the Premiers, and then to the Coupe de Villes. We changed our names to the Coupe de Villes to copy the Cadillacs, because we did a talent show and we met the Cadillacs. So we changed our name to the Coupe de Villes. And then, wow, that's in England.
Right.
Woo, look at that.
Bringing back some memories, Jimmy?
Oh, my God.
How about this for a memory? One of your most underrated songs was my national anthem when we were growing up. And this is what I based my life on, this song. Play it, Anthony.
I'm not a juvenile delinquent.
Whoa. I hear my voice. Whoop, 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 whoop.
You're right up front. You're right up front, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Right up front. So now you had a couple of hit songs in a row, and now
Yeah.
you wind up on all the big shows. But more importantly, you wind up on film. You're in Hollywood, California, doing rock, right?
The group was George Golden said that he's gonna release the song after Christmas. And I was calling him up every day. Well, it's after Christmas. It's after Christmas. He said, okay. Yeah. We go to back to school. When you go back to school, January 2nd of the something like that, right?
Yep.
You go back to school, the first week of school, you go back and New Year's had already come. Christmas had come, New Year's had come. So New Year's the first, I think that Monday or Tuesday, I'm in George Washington High School, and I see a girl who is going to my class, and she's singing.
Oh my God!
We're changing classes,
right?
And she's going to my class, because I know her, and because she's in one of my classes. And I said, excuse me. What do you mean, excuse me? Do you hear me singing? Leave me alone. I said, I know. I said, where did you hear that? What do you mean where I hear that? It's on every radio station in the country.
Oh my God.
That's what she said.
Wow.
And so I said, well, who are they? They're 5 white girls called the Teenagers. That was when the first time I heard somebody that had heard it on the radio.
Wow.
Now, getting back to your question,
yeah,
we started working. I was thinking about Gene doing this interview. I was trying to figure out in a year and a half, because all of 1956 and then up to June 1957, that's when the group separated. We were separated by management. They wanted to make Frankie a solo artist. I was trying to figure out how many gigs we did up until that point. I came up with about 500, at least 500 performances.
In a year and a half.
In a year and a half.
All right, but wait, Jimmy. That's when you used to do 5 shows a day at the big shows. Are you saying you did 500 individual dates?
We did 500 individual shows, because when you work at the Apollo Theater, for instance, you did about 4 shows a day,
right,
for the whole week. You work at the New York Paramount, you did 3 to 4 shows a day.
Yeah.
Now you go on. We did 3 tours. The tours were 2 60 one-nighter tours and 1 90. So each day we're in a different city. Each day for those 3 tours, 60 one-nighters, and then 90 one-nighters in 1 year. 3 tours. Of course, the Bill Haley in the comments, the Cadillacs, the Cleftones, all these people on these shows. So there's another. You work it every day. Every day you're in a different city in America, in the U.S. going throughout the U.S. Every day you're in a different city.
Right.
That's a show a day, except for Saturday.
Right.
Now we went to England. We went to England for 3 months, and we the London Palladium. We did that the London Palladium 2 weeks. 1 show a day,
right,
and 2 shows on the Saturday. That's 4 shows those 2 Saturdays.
My God!
So I mean, We did somewhere around 500 shows in a year and a half.
Oh my God! And
I mean, worked Apollo. We
right.
did the Paramount, the State Theaters.
The
We did
Fox,
all the Hartford, Connecticut,
right?
the State Theater in where's the state?
There's a few. Ohio,
Yeah, is that one? Yeah, one in Ohio. Is the state in Hartford?
state in
Yeah,
Hartford. I guess
think
there's a
so.
state everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
But Jimmy, I want to play this next song, and then I want to get back to talking about England. So Anthony, roll video 4, one of the best songs he's ever did.
I promise to love you no matter what you do. I want you, I need you, I love you through and through. I promise to be true.
Great song.
Great
So
song.
now I want to get to this England thing because maybe it's because we lost one of the royal family members last week. I got it on my mind. So Why Do Fools Fall in Love naturally becomes a #1 R&B song in the United States.
Yeah.
But more importantly, it becomes a #1 pop song in England and the UK. So that was a little more reaffirming of your talent to be on the pop charts in 1955 and 56. You knew you were going to be big in R&B. That's a given. You're 3/4 African American and 2 Spanish. You're going to the R&B, but to be #1 on the pop charts in England is a feat in itself. Am I correct?
You're absolutely correct. The one thing that you left out
Do
is
tell.
that Why Do Fools Fall in Love was the first American song to become #1 in England. The Why Do Fools Fall in Love is the first American recording to become #1 on their charts in England.
Is that written in stone, Jimmy?
Yes.
Wow. Oh,
And that's why they called us the Rage of the Age.
the Rage
They
of
named
the
us, yeah, they called us the Rage of the Age.
For those of you listening out there and watching, I'm going to rattle off some of the songs on one album. Okay? You know, you get an album today, it's got 2 hit songs, it's got filler songs. Listen to this track listing. Why Do Fools Fall in Love? I Want You to Be My Girl. Please Be Mine. I Promise to Remember. The ABCs of Love. Share. Baby Baby. And I'm Not a Juvenile Delinquent. That's on one LP. One LP for 99 cents. Right?
Wow.
Well, what did it
right.
cost? What did it cost back then, Jimmy? 99 cents? $1?
That's right.
So
It cost. I'm sorry. It came out that November, December of 1956.
7 or 8 major hits.
And the picture was taken in Central Park with us at the sweaters. That picture was taken in Central Park.
It seems a lot of pictures were taken in Central Park. It sounds like, yeah. And you sent me a picture in the package. I want this. I love this picture. This is going to be on my wall. You're going to have to sign this for me. Anthony, put up picture number 7. Look at that.
Oh.
Look at that. Look at
Woo.
that.
Wow. That's from the movie, right?
Yeah, from Mr. Rock and Roll, the Alan Freed movie.
The second movie, right?
Wow. There's just, what a picture.
You can see the look on my face. I was a little disappointed because we were broken up
By the time it happened.
Yeah, we were broken up just before that. We were broken up. We made that movie after June. Frankie was already taken from the group.
Right. So Frankie was taken from the group. But you guys still continued a little bit. Am I correct?
Yes.
And who did the lead? Herman?
We got a oh Lord. We got a white boy lead singer.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Billy Lebrano.
So this was equal opportunity in
Yeah.
1957, but of a reverse kind. Billy Lebrano.
Yeah.
Where was Billy from?
Nice guy. Forest Hills.
Forest Hills. All right. The funny part is my dad's godfather was a Lebrano who was a professor in Queens.
Oh,
And
wow.
I'm trying to find them. I don't know. That could be the same family.
Could be because he's from Queens. Yeah.
So
He passed away. He's got a wife and kids. I'm not in touch with his wife and kids, but he passed away.
Right. Now you recorded a live album in England, right?
No,
At the London Palladium.
We were working, Gene. One of the projects that we were to do was an album in England, and it ended up being Frankie doing that album outside of England, but they called it Frankie Lyman at the London Palladium.
Gotcha. Okay.
He never went back there to the London Palladium. The London Palladium was with us.
Right. Gotcha.
And that picture there is Billy Lebrano was basically on the original picture. Do you have that one with Billy?
No.
Yeah.
It's the only one I got of that time frame.
Right. So that picture was taken in 58. That one. And Billy was on that picture. So we took him off when he left the group because we became the teenager. We were the teenagers.
Right.
Billy Lebrano sang with us, but then we started featuring Jonah Groening. Then we featured Sherman Gene with a song called "The Draw." I think you know about that.
No, that one I don't know.
A cowboy song, and we sang it at the Apollo, and using a female. The first time we had from that point on we had about eight female singers.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was a lady by the name of Dawn, and who you said is coming next Tuesday? Sonny Turner.
May 3rd.
Yeah, Dawn. The chick that sang with the Platters after Zola Taylor, sang with us first. You can tell him I said hi now.
I will.
Him and I are close.
I will.
Give him my phone number.
I will do that.
Yeah.
With your permission, I will do that.
Every time Sonny sees me, man, he basically comes to tears. We're close. Because we worked in Vegas. I knew his wife. I knew his daughter.
Right.
I knew his wife's daughter. I used to see her. I went with her, and that's not the one he's married to today.
Of course,
but the one he was seeing in Vegas.
Right.
And so Dawn went with the Platters after she left us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then after that, we got Sherman's wife sang with us for a minute.
Wow.
And that was the end of the group for that was the end at around 61. That was the end. And me and Herman got back together in 1981. So from 61, 20 years later.
Right.
Isn't that something?
Now, these were all on G Records, right, Jimmy?
Yes.
But then you went to Roulette for something?
Well, G Records and George Goldner, Gene, was the man at G Records, Gene Rama. But Morris Levy took over George's business because they had some sort of agreement where George Goldner was indebted to Morris Levy, and Morris Levy took over the rights that everything George had. George had to go elsewhere, but everything that George had his name on, including Why the Fools Fall in Love.
Right.
Morris Levy's name went on
Yeah.
that.
That was
As you know, the three wives went to court.
right.
Frankie's wife won 50% of it back. Me and Herman went after the other 50 with Morris Levy. We won it for 2 years, but then we lost it back to Morris Levy based on the statute of limitations law, which is a bunch of, don't start me cursing. I'm a man of God.
Can't curse. Can't curse.
I'm a man of God. I won't do that.
I know you won't. I'll do it for you later on. So you broke up in 61.
Yeah.
So what about the songs after Frankie left, like with Billy Lebrano, and you had Freddie Houston, right?
Right.
You had Freddie Houston for a little bit, right? Now, what about those songs on Roulette and End? Are those available anywhere?
I don't know about those songs. Right, we did one with Freddie Houston. Right. And far as lead singers, we had 4 females starting in 81. From 1981, Herman and I used 4 females through 1992.
Mm-hmm.
So we had 4 great female. We traveled a lot, went to England.
Right.
And even though we had our differences, Herman and I.
Yeah.
And then in 93, we went to, I called up Herman. I said, let's go to an all-male configuration. Because in 93, we became Rock and Roll Hall of Famers.
Yes.
And
well deserved. Well deserved.
Yeah. Praise the Lord. Praise God. Praise the Lord. Yeah.
So
and the Lord is the guy who, the Lord is the one. The thing, I don't know how much time you got, and I'm not going to start preaching the gospel, but the thing that we have to understand is that we live in a grab and go world. Grab and go.
Mm-hmm.
Grab and go. And the thing that we do not understand is God, the creator of the world, is behind the scenes.
Without a doubt.
He's not.
We're gonna
He allows. He allows stuff in order to figure out what his moves are.
Right.
He allows everything. The bad, the good, the ugly.
Yeah. Right.
Well, especially the good.
We know that.
Go ahead.
We know that.
Go ahead now.
We're going to touch on that in a minute, but I think, Jimmy, we're going to have to do a second show with you to really dive into your ministry, which we're going to touch on, but I don't think we're going to have enough time to really give it the proper respect.
How much more time you got on this show?
Maybe about 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. But I want to ask you something. We got a good question from one of our viewers. First of all, I want to thank Jimmy Russo for putting this together, because I could not get in touch with you when I called Jimmy, and Jimmy put us together. So thank you, Jimmy Russo. But
if I still had all the how can I say, the connections and the ability to be out there, he'd be the first cat I would call up and say, "Man, I'm hiring you." You know,
great talent. One of our viewers asked a very good question, and it comes right after you just said that you and Herman had your differences, but you were able to put them aside for the sake of the music. One of our viewers wrote, Jimmy, do you think Sherman and Joe would still be with the group if they hadn't sadly passed away? Do you feel that your group was a brotherhood that could withstand anything except mortality? Do you think you still would have been together? You're with Herman and you had differences. How was your relationship with Sherman and Joe? What was it?
Well, Joe told me straight out he no longer wanted to be involved with music. He wanted to be involved with making movies.
Right.
So he became a guy. He always loved movies, and so he became a guy that wanted to make movies, and he became a pornography movie maker. And as far as Sherman is concerned, Sherman was not in touch with all his skills and his talents and abilities. Sherman is probably, I can't think of a greater bass singer than Sherman Godds. He is one of the greatest bass singers of all time. Not only was he deep, had a deep voice, but he had a style to his voice. And he could hear, and he also sang lead. Now, that's where those two cats are at. Now, as far as Herman is concerned, the relationship is poor. Because even though we worked from 1981, because we were both in the street for about 20 years. But then when we cleaned up our street act and we got together in 81, we used 4 women up until 1992. Like I said, and we got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and we went into an all-male configuration.
Right.
And at that point in time, that's where the disagreement in terms of us seeing eye to eye, unfortunately, and it's in every group. That's why the one thing I will tell a group that's starting out: don't concentrate on one person. Don't concentrate on one lead singer. Be like the Temptations. That man had 4 lead singers. He's still around today.
Mm-hmm.
We used one singer at a time, and after these 4 women, we hired Jimmy Castor. He's the one that sang "I Promise to Remember," that you played, that you liked, you said, that we recorded. That was his song. But when we brought him in the group in 1993, he had a star attitude about who he was.
Now, this is Jimmy Castor of the Jimmy Castor Bunch?
Yes.
So he
went
was
to school with him.
What?
We were from the same neighborhood. He's from the same neighborhood.
So he had his own career, his little career.
He had his own career.
So he had a big head, but when he came with you.
He had a big head.
Okay.
But the thing about it is he had a small heart.
Ooh.
He didn't come to grips with the whole idea of being. This is what's key. This is what's very disappointing for me today. That if I wasn't a man of God, and I see all the gentlemen in the New Testament went through, including Jesus Christ himself, I don't know how I would have made it if I wasn't in the Lord, because Herman and I are 2 of the most important individuals when it comes to youth music. Why? Because Why the Fools Fall in Love, before Why the Fools Fall in Love came out in January 1956, all music was being recorded by adults for adults. After we came out, the youth movement came into existence to where? To this day. To this day. So the youth movement in music is the same age as Why the Fools Fall in Love, 65 years. Right. Because the top youth guy, the top cat in music today, Bruno Mars, look him up, and guess what you see him singing? Why the Fools Fall in Love with his father's group, with his father's Spanish vocal group. Right. And all the females, and of course, not counting the Jackson 5s and the Osmonds and Boyz II Men and the hundreds of vocal groups that came out in the 50s after us. We started the youth movement in music. Herman is not smart enough, and it's not something that is simple, because if a relationship doesn't work, some people don't look at why we should still stay together.
Right.
And just because him and I don't see eye to eye, the thing that we didn't come to grips with is that we are very important when it comes to this music business. We didn't get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for nothing. The Vocal Group Hall of Fame. Frankie got a star in Hollywood, and a couple other things we were in. I'm working on autobiography and a movie. So, I mean, you know, the
You
fact that
hit it right on the head, Jimmy. You're not in the Hall of Fames because you're a fly-by-night act. You guys
Right.
are the real deals. You know what? There is no such thing as an hour-long teenager show. It's got to go into part 2 because I got to tell you something. For a group that was only together for 19 months, you got more history than people that were together 20 years.
is it 19 months? What's a year and a half?
18 months.
Yeah, that's a year and a half. Yeah.
So 18 months, you did all this.
I mean, you know, from January to June, but we did the New York Paramount the first days of July, and that was the end of it.
Okay.
From the 2nd to the 9th of the month, that was the end of it. July 1957,
Right.
From January 56 to July 10th.
Right.
1957.
Wow, you got some memory for those dates. Jimmy, you got to come back and do a second show with me. You got to do one on your ministry because we're not going to have enough time to touch on it. You got to do it.
Well, I'm open for that.
But that's for another show, really. But
Sure. I am so blessed. I mean, I had fun doing this show with you.
Listen, this is the start of a beautiful friendship, and
Yeah.
it's going to grow. But I do want to point out that you finally got to record "Why Do Fools Fall in Love" as the ballad you wrote for it. So
Yes.
we're going to show our viewers now the original concept for "Why Do Fools Fall in Love," written by Jimmy Merchant, sung by Jimmy Merchant. Anthony?
Hey.
Why do birds sing so gay? And lovers wait the break of day. Why do they fall in love?
Woo. You see some of them background singers?
Yeah, listen, it looked like We Are the World. You had Terry Johnson.
Yeah.
Who else? Tell us who else was back there.
His wife,
Right?
the lead singer from a soul group. I can't think of his name. And one of the Earth Angel guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Great backup. Tell us about what did I just want to say? I wanted to say something. Oh my God. See, I'm so sorry. You had Jimmy Castor, and of course, for many years you had the great Timothy Wilson.
Yeah, Jimmy Castor started in '93, and he left, I think, in 2000. And Timothy Wilson came in the group, and I was in and out.
Right.
Jimmy Castor tried to get a movie made, and I didn't. The lady that had did the Temptations movie,
Yeah.
I can't think of her name. When you look it up, the producer, big name, she wanted to do the teenagers, and Jimmy Castor knew her personally because he met her in Hollywood, and it didn't materialize. I didn't like the idea. This is business. I didn't like the idea that Herman wanted to go down. He wanted to share everything equally with three singers: Bobby J, Jimmy Castor, and Louis Lyman with us. I didn't agree with that idea. because the story was about the teenagers, Herman Santiago and myself. So how are you going to give three individuals an equal share, not only an equal share, but have them tell the story too?
Right.
That blew me away. It hurt. It hurt. It was. Listen, it was the second most painful experience in the teenagers. First, when Frankie was taken away in June 1957, and then when Herman and I had a chance to make a big movie, because the lady that was going to make the movie, I sent her a letter.
That's Susan DePasse.
Susan DePasse.
Susan DePasse.
You know the movie she made after us, right? The Jacksons.
The Jacksons. Well, she was
so between we were supposed to be the Jackson movie.
Okay.
But because we didn't do it, then she got the Jacksons.
Okay.
And she made a lot of big movies, Suzanne DePasse. So and Jimmy Castor brought her in, and he talked her into doing it. But Herman wanted to give three other people. I didn't mind if they made money, but an equal share. I mean, come on, we had gotten ripped off for Why the Fools Fall in Love. Please Be Mine, which I wrote, and I Want You to Be My Girl, which I wrote. I don't get no money for those records.
Right.
So then Jimmy Castor and I had a conversation. I said, no. Not only that, but it was a big argument, and I didn't want to sign the document. Then I wrote a letter to her. So it never happened. So he sent me a telegram years later. I wasn't in the group, that he was leaving the group. I think I came back in for a while. Yeah, I came back in. So when he left the group, then we got Timothy Wilson in 2000.
Right.
And again, Herman Santiago, I love him, man. I really do. But what I'm dissatisfied with is his lack of knowledge about who he really is. Where this major, monumental, legendary group called Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers is concerned. He doesn't realize its true value, and that the two of us together could have been done doing big things. I made that CD that you just showed me.
Yes.
I offered him, I said, let's make our own CD. Yeah, that one. He didn't want to do it.
Okay. His loss. His loss.
So Herman, he's alive and well. And, I love him, but, we're at a distance because we don't see eye to eye on reality. He was gifted. He was gifted with this thing. And he was gifted to still be alive today. And somebody came to me and tried to get the group back together. The lady said, I don't even need you two to be in a conversation together. I went and got a contract from her, signed it, got him to sign it, got Timothy Wilson. It was just him and I, Gene. And what happened is he called me the next day and said he didn't want to do it. So this is all the stuff that goes down in life. The thing that I got to continue to do is to keep promoting the legendary factor of Why the Fools Fall in Love and Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers. I got to keep doing that.
Well, you know what, Jimmy? I'm not Alan Freed. I'm not Cousin Brucey. I'm not Wolfman Jack. But if Gene DiNapoli and his fans could do anything for you to promote the music of the teenagers and the legacy of what you guys have done in 18 months. I didn't realize it was 18 months. I can't fathom it. I can't fathom it. We got one more song that we're going to play, but Jimmy, all your stuff is on jimmymerchant.com. Want everybody to see this? jimmymerchant.com, everybody. He does remakes of all the big songs, and then he does a lot of great songs. And Jimmy, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna close my show, so don't go away with one of my favorite songs by Robin and Johnny that you do.
Oh, I love that one.
I love it too. I love it too, which is what we're gonna go out on. But stick with us for a few more minutes. We got a
Sure.
couple of announcements. I got a big announcement. You know what? I think it's time I told everybody. So, Jimmy, we're just going to put you off screen for a minute, Jimmy.
I just want to say before you put me off screen, I thank the Lord for you. Keep up the good work.
My pleasure. And we thank the Lord and we thank everybody for the teenagers. You know, thank you. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I'm starstruck. I'm awestruck. I'm worried. I don't know what to say. When somebody of your stature and your name compliments me, I clam up. I don't know what, it's just the way it is. My mother would be proud. So we're going to be back to you in a second. I got a big announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go, big round of applause, Mr. Jimmy Merchant of the Teenagers. Yeah, baby. Woo! That's great. Great. All right. So last week I said I had a big announcement, and we're going to do it now. For those of you that are going to be home on Thursday afternoon at 2:00, I will be appearing in an interview segment on the Kelly Clarkson Show. Kelly Clarkson sings a song every night on her show, and she did an Elvis Presley song. And out of the 30,000 Elvises and Elvis fans in the business, they contacted me, and we had a 2-minute interview. So it'll be this Thursday, 2:00, and then it's rerun after that. So that's my big announcement. I hope it's big for me, big for you. And I do all these things with some hope of maybe somebody seeing me and giving me another opportunity. So 2:00, Channel 4, Thursday the 22nd. Watch me on the Kelly Clarkson Show. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. And right now, we're going to talk about our sponsors again, and we're going to come back and we're going to go out with Jimmy Merchant. So, Anthony, run our sponsors, and please.
Hi, this is Francisco. Many people call me the creative CPA. If you need help with your taxes or financial matters, please email me your cell number and the best time and day to call you. You can email me at franciscisco@aol.com, and Cisco is spelled SISCO, the creative CPA. It's that simple, that easy. Thank you.
Little Italy Auto Repair at 628 Crescent Avenue in the true Little Italy of the Bronx. Over 50 years of automotive service excellence, ASE and state certified, offering all types of services to all types of cars. Discounts to first responders, military, Fordham University students and faculty. All work is done by Victorio with the highest level of quality possible. Telephone number is 718-933-2365 or visit his website at www.littleitalyAutoBronx.webs.com.
Hi, my name is Howard, and along with my partner Karen, we are Cruise Planners Dream Destinations Travel. Contrary to the name, we are a full-service travel agency specializing in individual, multi-generational, and group vacations. Certified with all major cruise lines, we are also represent all resorts and all-inclusives throughout the beautiful Caribbean and Mexico. Let us build your dream vacation. Please call us at 347-398-8653 for a free, no-obligation quote.
Once again, thanks, everybody. Hey, join my YouTube channel because we're doing interviews that will not be seen on Facebook, only on YouTube. So join my YouTube channel at Gene DiNapoli. Check out my website at Gene DiNapoli for information on other projects. And, of course, our big show on May 1st, the Stop Asian Hate show. Just stop hating. Stop hating. Why do people gotta hate? Don't hate. Okay? Whether it's Asian or black, Italian, Irish, stop it. It's not the way we're supposed to be. And remember this, I came up with this saying. How you act down here is how you're judged up there. So if you want a good seat up there, start being nice to people. All right? I could have some choice words that I don't want to say. So tune in May 1st and donate to a worthy cause, and maybe we get rid of all this hate in the world. Don't forget, we're off next week. We're coming back May 3rd with the great voice, Sonny Turner, who brought the Platters back to the charts in 59 and 60. 7 o'clock, Sonny Turner, everybody. Let's bring Jimmy Merchant in once again. Jimmy, come back in.
I can't hear nothing. What should I do?
Jimmy.
Did I do something?
No.
they probably died.
No. Adrian, you there?
sure?
Okay, leave him alone. Okay, Hall of Famer, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Vocal Group Hall of Fame, Jimmy Merchant of the legendary Teenagers. We're going to thank him for being our guest. So great, so great. Please send me messages. If anybody knows of any Doo Wop singers or any singers at all, band members that had hit records, send them my way. This is a forum for them to speak. I only had 2 people tell me no since I started this show. And in 6 months from now, those 2 people are going to call me and want to be on this show because this is the most entertaining show out there. Not because of me, but because of my guests. All right? I bring you the best of the best because you deserve it. And enjoy your week. Enjoy next week. You got a break from me. I thought we could do a show and record it and schedule it, but we can't do that. That's not allowed. So next week we're off. We'll be back May 3rd. And until we see you again, everybody, stay safe, stay positive, stay well, and God bless you. We go out on a great song sung by Mr. Jimmy Merchant on his CD, jimmymerchant.com.
You're mine, and we belong together. Yes, we belong